Good afternoon. This is Mr. Bazia with the show New America in the state of Maine. And today we're going to be talking about North Sudan. And we have a good friend of ours, so we need Pacific Fardal. He's going to talk about what happened in Sudan for those 2 years. They have a lot of issues in the North Sudan. And we'll give the floor for Mr. Fardal.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bazia, and your show, America. And also, I want to say thank you to the American people and Mainers that they give us this opportunity to come and be part of, part of the Mainers. And it's really amazing that now Sudan, since April 14 or 15, when the war broke out again, it's really being a crazy nightmare. Is so many people, they like millions and millions, they just flee from the country. They go to neighboring countries like Chad, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Egypt, Libya, and some of them inside Sudan. They go to different refugee camps or different towns and suburbs, and that's what the people are struggling until now.
Did you think for all this issue, a lot of people learn, because I know Sudan has been getting independent for a long time before even South Sudan be separate from the North. But did you think for this issue, Pacific, on that month and be now, I think it's 2 years already, do you think the population of Sudan, they're learning something? Or they're thinking from this issue they can come together like a nation again?
Yeah, because Sudan, in terms of South Sudan, because South Sudan and Sudan, they were one country, but the government in Khartoum, that they use a lot of racism and also like religions to divide people, and they want to everybody just to be in a Muslim, and that for South Sudan, for the people of South Sudan, is really is not okay. So they vote on favor of their referendum of separation in 2011, and then they have a new nation called South Sudan. Even though they split it up, that it should be over, no more war. But again, they start creating more problems to the people of Sudan, like Darfur, Nuba Mountain, Blue Nile, Eastern Sudan, Bija, even people in North and in the central and in the capital of Sudan. So they being fighting because of the wealth and the power. They were the one leader of the militia, Janjaweed militia, and one is the head of the military, which is Burhan. And then when the civilian, the people of Sudan, they say they don't need military power, then they start fighting to kind of chill people down, and then they make people to scatter and just go all over.
So that means the fight start because the power. So there's
Power
people
and
want
rights.
not military to be run the Sudan government. They want the civilian to take over and run Sudan.
Yes.
So with all this fighting and all this region, what do you think about the mother, the kids, the girl? Because according to my information I have here, a lot of people get affected, like mother, raping woman, raping young girl. Do you think even with all this happening, the population of Sudan, they coming out with something better than to have peace and thinking about the future of Sudan?
You know, it's like it's been a long journey, because when in South Sudan, they being used rape as a weapon of war. It's part of genocide, ethnic cleansing, and crime against humanity, and a massive rape. For the women and girls, They want to destroy the women community because the women are very intelligent and they empowering the men or the people, and they don't want that. Instead of to destroy them, they have to rape the women so the women could stay out of like the public. She don't want to come to the public. She don't want to stand in front of the people, so she can lead. She can lead. She could become a leader. So they want to take her dignity, and then when they rape her, that is not acceptable in our
in the
community.
society.
In our society, it's not acceptable. So when the women or girl being raped, whether they have to run away from the community members, not they don't want to be seen again, or they have to commit a suicide, or or they have to or they have to face all kind of challenges, and with all that pain and anger and frustration, she will be they will be very serious, like women and girls, they will be very serious if they join any military, or they join their brothers and they train how to carry guns. They become very serious warrior because they know they have so much inside of them.
There's
Sometimes they
pain and all
cannot.
that, yeah,
Sometimes they cannot express it
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah.
But with doing something, then you definitely will realize that they are really like trying to work hard and bring this war to the end, from genocide, ethnic cleansing, crime against humanity, and a massive rape, because that affects everyone, and they want that to be end, and they need the civilian to take over, and then will be a justice system that anybody who commit any crime will held accountable and they will brought to the justice. And that's what the Sudanese people want. And still we are working on to get to that point, but still these military leaders, they're still around, and they are just anybody who's trying to stand up, they just like take him down.
I think the other thing I'm thinking, because all this time when South Sudanese was fighting with the government of the North, it was all in South Sudan and even sometimes was in Darfur, in Nubia. But I think the difference, because it happened in Khartoum, did you think that make the issue became more serious?
Yeah, because these things, it was happening to South Sudan. When the South Sudanese people, they talk about it, like in the capital of Sudan, the people, they bring like denial. It's like, oh no, this is not true. When South Sudan is being split up, then it's become to Darfur region and the people of Nuba Mountain and Blue Nile, the same tactics, rape, genocide, ethnic cleansing, crime against humanity, it still was ongoing, and we're being talking out loud in the capital of Sudan. This is happening to our area, but it's still people are not believing us. They saying, no, you just may be saying stuff.
Okay.
But when it comes to capital of Sudan, which is Khartoum, Omdurman, and Bahri, and then the rest of
Sudan.
the Sudan, then the people realize that this is serious.
This is serious.
This is serious, and then people just scattered, and people just fleeing from area to another. And most of the Sudanese people now, they are refugee, and they are in different refugee camps.
What do you think about your people or your community? There are still people back home, or there's some of them out?
Yeah, there is still people back home, but they are within different locations. And now the situation is really even worse. There is no easy to find resources of water. It's not available much. And to find firewoods to bring to cook, it's not, you cannot go that far. If you go far, you will be killed. If the women and girls went out, they will be raped, and there is no medicine. The whole entire Sudan is like shut down. there is nothing coming from outside, like Chad, that border is being shut down. Libya's border is being shut down. South Sudan border is being shut down. Central African Republic its border is being shut down. Eritrea is being shut down. Egypt, now the people just going in Egypt back and forth, and that's the only the safe area, the exit that the people go to Egypt or go to Saudi Arabia in Jeddah.
So according to all this happening, do you think there's any good future in Sudan in the long term or the short term?
The future will come, better future will come, but now there is a war, and anything in the war, like the war don't know, like kids and women and girls and elders, and it's just when you are in the war, like you face whatever is there, but we are determining as a Sudanese people that we want the civilian transition to take over. We will be fighting, we will be struggling, but one day we will get there and we will have a better future, and we will have civilian government to take over. And the military, their job is to protect the people and to protect the country in the borders. So this is the only thing that we believe in it, and we have full responsibility, and we have the determination and commitment to continuous fighting until we accomplish our goal.
So do you think after South Sudan be separate from the North, because I know the military was all from the other tribe, especially if you look on the Nubian, the Darfurian, the South Sudanese, there was more people in the military. Do you think after South Sudan became part of the different country and then they became alone there, do you think the power of the military of Sudan is still strong?
I mean, the military, because they have guns and they have the money, they have the wealth, and they have the power. So they think they are strong, but to us, as ordinary people, as a people of Sudan, we the people have the power, because we as a people, we can elect the leaders. If the leader is not working for us, we can let him go. So this is the power of the people, and we believe in that, and we are working, we as a people of Sudan, as a Sudanese people, working within different groups and to come together and just make sure the military leaders could step down and civilians could take over, and then they could move forward to make a difference to whole entire Sudan, and also work with neighboring countries and diaspora as abroad.
What about, I know according to my information here, is Sudan still 18 state?
Yeah, I mean, they divide states because of they could send more of their people and control more people.
It's like a map.
Yeah, it's like you have like a map. You divide the areas instead of try to control the whole entire area. So you have to divide like equally and just make a balance. It's like there is no one to get out of your control. So, and that's why they want to create even more areas and bring more of their military guys and put them there so they can control the people.
Because according to my information in the net, before the fight, everything was in Khartoum, in the capital. Do you think now with all this fighting, they can have the paperwork in different states in Sudan? Like passport, ID?
I mean, before it used to be, if you want to get your ID, you want to get your passport, birth certificate, any documentation that you need to get it done, you have to come to capital of Sudan, which is Khartoum. But before the war, there is more improvement. They take it to different like states and different regions. But when the war comes, everything is being destroyed. Now it's just only in, not even in capital of Sudan, Khartoum, nothing working now. It's just only in Port Sudan where those military leaders are there. So everything is just working there. But maybe later on when this war over, then everything will get back to the normal.
Which the state right now in Sudan who are under the military in Sudan?
There is many areas. Like, for example, the military, they have the power. They are in Port Sudan, and you have the whole entire North Sudan, and you have like the White Nile in like Kosti and Rabak, and you go into Al Ubaid, and all these is still in control of the military leaders. But the Janjaweed militia, they taking it more territory in Darfur region. They have Kutum, they have Jinena, they have Zalinji, they have Niala, they have Bram, they have DN. They have so many areas until you come to close to Nuba Mountain, and then the Nuba Mountain, Abdulaziz Al-Hilu, he's controlling all that areas. So they are not able to get in there. So, and it's just kind of...
A kind of division in the power.
Yes.
Do you think Janjaweed original, they are Sudanese or they are not Sudanese?
Janjaweed militia, like in my knowledge, could be a Sudanese and could be not Sudanese, because is a militia. The government of Sudan, President Omar al-Bashir, he's not in power anymore. He created this militia called Janjaweed, and Janjaweed does mean devil on horseback.
Wow.
And that's mean you have to have your tools, guns and machete, and just kill everybody.
It's just like a machine gun.
And then it's like hiring people and pay them the money just to kill people, destroy the houses, rape the women and girls, and just make people flee and just become refugees.
So how
you can become Sudanese?
Yeah,
or
how came
non-Sudanese.
Hamiti became the vice president of Sudan if he's a part of the militia and other way around, or Janjaweed and other way around?
I mean, the Hamiti, he's like a part of the militia, and way back, Hamiti, he wasn't have that much power, but Musa Hilal, he's the one, he's
supporting him.
He's the one who was in the beginning of the Janjaweed was Musa Hilal.
Oh, okay.
Musa Hilal, when he was fighting, and Hamiti was under Musa Hilal.
Musa Hamid, okay.
And then when they were fighting, they fight which is called the rebel functions.
Okay.
When they fight them, and then Musa Hilal, he's like, I like human rights, and I don't want to kill people anymore, and I want to go to International Criminal Court to testify because I did not kill that much, or I killed, but they give me orders, Bashir give me orders, and I just obey.
Yeah.
And then when he said that, Bashir, he take Musa Hilal and put him into the jail, and take Hamiti, and he say, you are now on top of Musa Hilal's spot. And then he become more crazy. He bring even more people from all these neighboring countries, and they paying the money and bringing more people that to come and train and fight to kill the people of Sudanese.
That's why giving a reason to make Sudanese citizen until today they don't accept him. That's the one of the link of the issue happened in Omar Bashir's time.
Yes.
Now with all this, what do you expect for the people of America if they want to help or they want to be part of to see what they can do to help Sudan for this situation? What do you think? What they need right now?
I mean, definitely, now more than ever, the people of Sudan or Sudanese people that they're being displaced, they are at the refugee camp. They really need aid and like food, water, medicine, shelter, protection, and also we want to work hard to kind of push more to the international communities. We need like more justice. Any leader that commit any crime, and the people of the country that they fighting for their freedom. We need just these people will just get support, and they will get their freedom, and they will get what they want, and they will get to the power, and then these leaders, they will bring them to the justice.
So what happened in Jazeera? Do you think the government of the military of Sudan was part of it? Because a lot of people in the social media, they talk about what happened. They killed a lot of people in Jazeera, and I feel like it's still everybody's talking about it.
I mean, like, think about it. There is two group, like there is a military fighting Janjaweed or Damasri. They fighting each other, and then the people, innocent people in between, they are the one
Paying the price.
They are the one paying the price. And if they want to fight, they could find a field and they go face each other and fight, and their fight will be over. But they want to kill a Sudanese people. It's like they're agreeing to fight among the citizens.
Right.
And then citizens, they don't have nothing.
Wow.
They just with their own hand.
Right.
They cannot even protect themselves. So, and then when they are fighting, bullets come everywhere, and just a lot of people just get shot and just die. That's why we lose a lot of people, and also they being slaughtering people, like it's really it's really crazy things that is happening. That is like it's cleansing to some of the groups that is being eliminate them from there, and that's why a lot of activists they raise an issues to the human rights organization or human rights groups, and that's why people being protesting, and they asking all these leaders those they committing crime and fighting, they will brought to the justice, both of them. Whether you are Damasri, you are Janjaweed, you are in the military, you commit the crime instead of the civilians.
Right.
You commit a crime and you will face a justice.
That'd be a big help to make people who are affected by this fight, and especially I feel like the lady more than anything, and mother, young girl, maybe boys, you never know. But it's gonna take a while to heal the issue.
Yeah, it's really, the war has a lot of things, like for example, you lost your parents, you lost your kids, you lost your sibling, you lost your neighbors. This is not something easy. Also, you lost your entire house. Everything is burned, everything is burned down, or everything is looted up, or if you have any something that is a value is being taken away from you, and that is not easy to come back, and it's the most important thing is the life of human being is being taken away. That is not something to come back. And that's what a lot of people have a lot of pain. But by the time when the peace comes, definitely people will get healed after will be after people will talk to them like those whom they are working for the human right and a crime against humanity, like the social worker.
Okay.
They can talk to them and they comfort them, and then they will heal by the time, and they will come back to the community.
Well, what about the leader of the religion? It can be Christianity, it can be a Muslim. They have any part of to be peace or to be standing to bring North Sudan in peace and love?
The religious leaders, yes, they are doing a lot of prayers and that hoping that this war will end, this violation will stop, this war will stop, and the people will come into a negotiation table as a Sudanese in one table, and they will find where is the problems are, and they will find the solutions, and then they will kind of get into the point that they want to make like a rule and policies and regulation how Sudan will be governed into the future within the civilian lead within the civilian government, and that they are already talking about this, but it's not yet time come, and now they are in the middle of war. But when the war is over, definitely they will take this step, and they will kind of sit down and find out what's the root cause for this war, find the solutions, and then they will do rules and regulation and policies how Sudan will be governed from after the war is over.
I'm thinking, since you've been talking about all this, it looked like the first fight, I can say the one was 21 years between the North and South Sudanese. A lot of people left to diaspora. And after that, when Sudan became alone, this how the group left out Sudan. Now with this fight for 2 years, do you have any number in your mind how many people left Sudan for this fighting for 2 years since it started in 14 April in 2023, I believe?
It's really most of the people they flee, like millions and millions of people. Sudan has like over 40 million people.
Okay.
And those whom they flee, the statistic number is in Egypt by itself, they saying is like few thousands, not sure, but they saying between 6 to 7 million. Those are go to Egypt, but there is more people. They flee. They go to South Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. They go to Chad, Uganda. They go to Kenya. So they go all over the place. So
what about people like who have
people.
good career, doctor, engineer, nursing? Do you think all these kind of people, pilot, maybe people in the Supreme Court, do you think all these people who left already for this issue, for these 2 years since there's a fight in the north, do you think they will get back again to build the country?
It depends, because if the war is not end, there is no one wanna come back and put their life into danger. So all those whom they are out, they are not planning to come back until the war is over. If the war is not over, I don't think so they will come back, because if they come back, there is no job, there is no security, there is no safety, there is no health, there is no schools, there is nothing. If you come back to do, the only thing when you come back, you just will die, whether you get shot or you get sick and die, or you get hungry and die, or there is no even people to just hang out with them, and it's just very difficult. A lot of people, they are like in run looking for any place that to be safe for them and just be there and do anything just to survive until this war is over.
So that's mean the chance for to bring people back is going to take a while. Only people who under the military or supporting the military in this time they'll be supporting until to make sure there's a security, there's a water, there's electric, and especially right now I believe there got to be a lot of issue in hospital. I don't know how to think about people who are affected by diabetes or people who deliver the baby. Do you think in this kind of situation, since the fight is still running until today, do you think those people have a chance to be there, or they all decide to just leave?
I mean, there is many people in Sudan, they are there, but those whom they left behind because they don't have no money. They don't have no money to get the tickets to go to Egypt or go to Saudi Arabia or to go to South Sudan or go to Chad or even to go to different states within Sudan, different region or different state or different town, just to get a ticket and just go different place where it's safer than the capital of Sudan. So they are just facing whatever is there, and they are just like, they just lost hope and they are just there. It's like, okay, there is nothing we can go and we will just sit here. And they are just sitting there, and every day they just die. And those whom they are out, those whom they have money, they flee and they are out in neighboring countries. And some of them, they come to diaspora in this side here, whether in United States or in Canada or Australia or in Europe. So those are the lucky one, get out and
Get a
come over
support.
here. Yes.
Do you think there's still a number of the people of South Sudan citizens who used to live in the north? There's still some of them is there, or different area, maybe Bor Sudan, maybe Gadarif, maybe Kassala?
There is because we're being as one Sudan. Some people think the South Sudan is being split up, and South Sudanese, they go back. The majority, they go back to South Sudan, but there is a lot of people also in North is still there. Some of them, they have like, you can say some business, or they have different job, or they have something that they work on, and some of them, they kind of do different business. They go South Sudan and come back to North, and they are just like South and North. We as ordinary people, we don't see as this is like a border issues between us. We kind of putting it that way. We as a people, we are the citizens of the world. We don't have no borders. We the people, we can go anywhere. I can go to South Sudan to live there. People of South Sudan could come to North, because we being brothers and sisters. And this is just political issues being dividing us. And we as a people, we don't want that. We want the people just to be together, help each other, support each other, and move on to make a difference.
Do you think since this fight is starting in the north, there's any part of South Sudan supporting in the level of the government of the regular citizen?
I am not in Sudan, like in North or in South. I do not know like who is supporting this group, but because South Sudan, they know they been struggling and they been in this fight for a long time. If they support any group, then they will be into the wrong direction. It's not good. They should not support any group, so that is mean the war will end soon. But if there is any support, then the war will continue even longer.
That's going to be other issue. I think Africa, you need to realize fight among yourself is not the solution, I think.
Africa as a continent, now there is a new day, which is the light for the future for Africa. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the one who come in power, and many African leaders, they are working together to get Africa out of all these crises, from genocide, ethnic cleansing, and crimes against humanity, and a massive rape, and starvation, and disease, and all these. They want to work hard. African people, they want to take responsibility. The leaders has to take responsibility and protect their own citizens, and help them and support them with the people's need, what they need within the country. So if that they are working very hard to continue to work and accomplish that goal, African is being suffered for a long time, and now is the time that all the leaders will work together. And Africa is very wealthy continent. We don't need. We have a lot of resources. It's a matter of how they could get these resources
and work together,
put it into the international market. It will be the best place to be.
So you look like it's going to be United States and United Africa. So when you look at it, the number between United States and Africa is very close. And Africa is connected to United States more than, even if you look at African America or American Africa, it's the roots of we're aunties and all that. So we hope the best. So Fardal, we're not going to take your time. Thank you for coming to the show. And we hope you can tell where people who are watching this show, what do you want to give them before we end the show?
I just want to say thank you so much for you watching the show, and also giving us this opportunity to come to this great nation called United States of America. And also this is being an opportunity. If we're still there, it's going to be a struggle, and we are not going to be able to help our brothers and sisters back home. But we are here. We are the light for the future for our people. Those who they don't have no voice, we are their voice, and we will be continuous fighting and just helping them and supporting them. And together here in the United States also we will be working together to help ourselves locally, and just because there is so many things like cultural things and other stuff, music, food, culture, and we just wanna give back as educational is that to learn from each other and support each other and just help each other and just move on.
Thank you. We'll see you for the next show. I hope soon.